Usually in a restaurant offering table service, the guest is seated and a menu is presented on the table so that he could decide about the order. After a while, a waiter comes to take the order. Then the food is served on the table. Such a service where the food and beverage are served on the table is known as table service. In a restaurant offering table service, guest is served at a late table. Late table means table is set with required cutlery, crockery, glassware, etc. to be used while eating. In this kind of service, we have varied ways in which food is presented and served at the table. So in this video, we will focus on different types of table services provided in a restaurant. Hello friends, I am Naveen Chahal, welcomes you all on Hospitality Broadcast. American service. In this type of service, food is prepared in the kitchen and plated in plates. The kitchen staff predetermines the portion size and accompaniments goes with the dishes. Server brought the pre-plated food to the guest table. That's why it's also termed as pre-plated or plate service. As food is plated in kitchen, it requires fewer dishes for serving food on guest table. This type of service is mostly preferred by coffee shops where there is a demand for simple and fast service. Even many small restaurants prefer this type of service. Silver service. In silver service, food is brought in a platter and presented to the host for approval. After getting the approval, server places the plates on the table. The host either makes food portion and serve directly on guest plates or allow the server to serve. A server do the service with the use of a fork and a spoon or two forks. Hold it like a chopstick and transfer the food from platters to each guest plates on the table. As food is brought and served from a platter to plate, that's why it's also known as platter to plate service. Also, as host plays an active role from ordering food to its approval and making portion, that's why some people also refer it as host service. Traditionally, we use silverware dishes to serve, hence the name silver service. But nowadays, it's okay to use dishes of stainless steel or other material. This type of service is mostly popular for serving families, that's why some people even call it family service. Some people also refer it as English service. The only difference they make is the use of silver dishes. If you use silverware, it's called silver service, otherwise English service. Silver service is highly preferred for special events or where your guests require high level of attention from host. Next is French service. It is the most sophisticated and very personalized service in which unprepared or partially prepared food is brought from kitchen and the cooking is completed tableside, usually on a cart. In some cases, ingredients are assembled, prepared or presented right at the table. French style of service can be done in two ways: cart style French service and banquet style French service. Cart style French service. Unprepared or semi-prepared food is brought from kitchen on a movable cart, also known as gueridon trolley, with a small gas cylinder and burners. Food can be cooked or reheated on a small plate. We include food that requires short time to prepare. Flambe items can be served in cart-style French service. Flambe is a cooking technique in which a server adds alcohol to a hot pan to create a burst of flame. It's also called flambe service. Cold foods are just assembled on gueridon. Server may carry some already prepared food such as dessert. The cart is rolled alongside the guest table and food is served after making their selection. Due to the major role of gueridon trolley, it's also known as gueridon service. In some books or blogs, it's discussed as a separate type of table service, and some books include it in specialized or in situ service. After all, it's your choice, but the concept remains the same. Do note guys, this is the only style of service where food is served from the right hand side of guest. This type of service mostly preferred for a small group of VIPs. Banquet style French service. In banquet service, large trays or platters are prepared in the kitchen and a server takes the platters to guest's table. Server hold the tray in one hand and serve food with two silver forks in another hand. French service require a highly experienced and trained server because of the intricacies of service. Next is Russian service. This service is very much similar to French service, but unlike French service where food is brought out at once, in Russian service food course is being brought to the table sequentially. Means first course first, then followed by next and so on. Food is being portioned on the plate by the waiter, usually at a sideboard but may be done in kitchen also, before being served on the table, which also reduces the number of dishes and accompaniments at a given time. Though Russian service is gradually losing its popularity, but still people prefer Russian service in banquet functions, where each table may be arranged for 6 to 12 guests. Generally, food is brought in a large platters. That's why some people also refer it as platter service. For small group, Garino trolley may be used. The food is portioned and carved by the waiter in the view of the guests. Well, this was all about table service.